So what have you been up to? Last night he had a stack. He rolled out a stack of about old computers about this tall.
Yeah, a bunch of old, Pentium and Pentium 2 computers. Basically, finally, they've taken the 233 Pentiums off your desk and my desk.
The old corporate computers are getting recycled.
They're getting thrown away.
But why throw them away? Because you could do something great with them, right?
File servers, MP3 servers,
Are you
all
gonna
that
do
kind of stuff. Actually, I've already have a couple of those set up.
Wow.
What we're going to show you today is actually talked about it before, Smoothwall.
Right.
Smoothwall.org is the place to get it. It's a firewall. It's, you want to protect your home system, your home network from the big bad outside world. Well, it's a firewall. It acts as a router. It sits down. It does DHCP. Basically, it's internet sharing and firewall protection and a web proxy and a very simple, not much, but a very simple VPN. Plus, it does other stuff.
So it's basically like a Linksys router, but you don't have to buy it. You can build it out of your old junky PC.
You have a couple of
How much of a PC do I need in this?
Well, I've never run it on anything faster than a 230. The one that's attempted to do now is a whopping 233 megahertz Pentium.
Slow is fine.
Slow is fine.
But you do need two network interface cards.
You need two NICs.
Why is that?
Well, here's the thing. You need two NICs if you have a cable or DSL modem that uses an Ethernet connection.
That goes into one of the network cards.
If you have actually, what's really cool about this is the folks who are building this in England, they have a lot of USB-based DSL and cable modems. So it talks to a lot of different USB cable or DSL
So if it were a
modems.
late model computer that had USB,
right.
You wouldn't need two NICs. You'd need a USB and a NIC.
Exactly. So you can do a USB and a NIC. You can do a modem and a NIC if you have dial-ups. If you want to share a bunch of computers over a dial-up account, you could do that. If you have, again, if you're connecting to a larger network over an Ethernet connection, you have two NICs. Actually, if you put a third NIC in, what you can do set up is one is the green area, that's your safe, that's your interior, your home network. One is the red area, that connects to your Ethernet connection. The third one is an orange area, which is the easiest DMZ I've ever configured.
Yeah, because it's out there.
Right.
Runs on Linux or what?
Yeah, it's essentially the current version 1.0, which they've just the GPL version, right? There's a company, then there's an open source project. The 1.0 version of it is running on Linux 2.2. The 2.0 beta, which I recommend people consider installing because it's got better support for Ethernet cards. They're starting to add wireless to it, some other stuff to it. It's running on the 2.4 kernel, so it's using IP tables as a step up from IP chains as the firewalling.
If you download the ISO, does it include the Linux as well, or do you have to install Linux?
You don't even know it's Linux. Basically,
it's all in one.
It's a 22 megabyte ISO.
Yeah.
You burn it to a disk. You load it into the system. Understand, the only thing that's going to be on this system is your Smoothwall. They do that for security, right? You're not using this or anything else. It's going to wipe that machine. You load it onto there, and basically it does everything. It boots up. You see the whole, trace of scary Unix code coming up your screen as it configures everything, and then you basically hit enter, and you follow through a bunch of questions to install it.
How big a hard drive do I need, or could I run it from the CD?
You can't run it from a CD if you want to do the web project. Let me rephrase it. I haven't figured out how to run it from a CD. Maybe some people have.
Probably need some temp file space.
If you need like 500 megabytes, a gigabyte.
It's small. Small hard drive will do. Anything that was with your P233 will work.
In fact, unless you want to have a huge web proxy, anything over a couple gigabytes is going to be wasted anyway. It's going to be empty space.
Wow, this is great.
Administration, once it's set up, that's
you do it from the web?
Yeah, actually the admin pages are from the web. This is the Smoothwall webpage, smoothwall.org. Once it's installed, you can log into it over the internet.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, basically log it from inside, and you can basically go through.
Does it work as a VPN server?
It has some very, very limited VPN implementation in this version. The professional version of it that you pay for has a full VPN. Version 2.0 should actually end up having a full VPN to configure. That would be really, really
That's
sweet.
something more than the Linksys will do. I mean,
that's a lot more.
That's a
well,
special.
The web proxy is more than the Linksys will do.
But when you say web proxy, it doesn't. It actually saves data files, so it caches.
Yeah, it's essentially it's caching it locally on your system.
Right. So it's more than just a proxy server. It's it's local caching as well. That can speed up your browsing if many people in your network go to the same sites considerably.
So I actually turn on web proxy. I can turn that up to 500 megabytes instead of more drive space for that.
Free and available online at smoothwall.org.
Online download. Took me all of about a half an hour to configure it.
Are you going to use it, you think, instead of your
I'm
Linksys?
using it on and off. I have a D-Link router now that I'm going to replace with this.
Good.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah, very exciting.
More online, of course, at thescreensavers.com, right?